Peace to the gods on earth. It's the God born build universal. Transmitter supreme science of earth and the universe. And this is iGod TV. I'm back in the building with the Big Auggie, of course.
Auggie.
Yeah. You already
What
know what
up,
time
God?
it is. You already know what time it is when the Auggie and the Agavelli get back in the building. You know what I mean? We bringing it right and exact. Nothing taken away. Nothing added. Understood.
No additives or preservatives.
Exactly. Understood.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Every
This
time.
is straight from the essence right now. What we doing now is coming straight from the core, the nucleus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You got the neutrons and electrons, but we're gonna have the protons all in your game piece. Here's a proton pack for you cats.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Word.
Agavelli. What's our topic for tonight?
Yeah, man. Tonight we're gonna hit them with a little something, you know what I mean? We know this ain't gonna be part of a series of we're not gonna stay on this subject, but we're gonna give them a spin-off of the pyramid theory, and we're gonna give them, you know, the mystery of the Sphinx. You know what I mean?
We gonna talk about what's all in that area per se, right?
Yeah, the Giza Plateau.
Why it's all placed around in the same type of gaming.
The Giza Plateau, the whole entire Giza Plateau, we're gonna bust it down and let them know what it's gonna all be about. The next step is gonna be the Sphinx. You know what I mean? And tonight we're gonna give you a little bit of pre-show, a little game. We're gonna touch base with it, and we're gonna talk about a few other things itself anyway. You know what I mean? But either way, you know what I mean? How you feeling, Auggie? What's been going on?
Hey man, I'm feeling very Auggie.
Word.
Yeah, I'm Auggied out, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As you should be, and as we all are, when we feeling like this, talking about these things, and you getting your mind together to the point to where you looking at this stuff as really the matrix. You can, once you understand everything that's going on around, the past repeats the future.
Right.
Now back then they had crazy technology. If you look at some other hieroglyphs, they had flying machines. They had, everything that we have because there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
But I'm loving how, you throwing the cats through the wormhole of the parallel universe. Right. Yeah, we are them, but now we just in the 21st century.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And then because I feel like, it's time for us as human beings to realize all this has been done by us. Everything in history, all the great things that have been done, you know what I mean? Of course, through the blessings of the Most High, but also put to action by us, man. We need to wake up and take control of our lives, and then our communities after that. They say it starts in the home. You know what I mean? Get the house together, and then you tap into the community, man, and then you start to make things happen. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you too, man, for putting in this time. We got some episodes, man. I've been looking through the playlist. I hope y'all been going through the playlist and seeing, man. We've been making it happen, and I shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, the newer subscribers. I want to welcome y'all, man, and go through the playlist, man, and see what we've been talking about, man, and get caught up on where we at now, man, and you'll see, you know what I mean, what we've been going, what the channel's all about, man. Once again, I appreciate everybody, you know what I mean. And I got a little something to show. I know y'all been seeing a little glimpses of the first joint lately, man. You know what I mean. But I'm gonna show you, get a little glimpse of the first merch. You know what I mean. A little quick glimpse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just a little something for the home team.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's just a little something for the home team, you know what I mean? And a little demo run, you know what I mean? But
that's a little fly. That's a little fly right there.
We're letting everybody know eventually, you know what I mean, that you're gonna be able to tap in with us, you know what I mean, get the merch, get your
and you too.
T-shirts, hats, you know what I mean, gloves, You know what I mean? All kind of stuff we're gonna be coming with. You know what I
Right.
mean? So this is the beginning of it, man. I want to shout out to the Auggie, man, because you know this is the original. You know, it's of course modified. You know what I mean? Spice it up a little. But that he's the Big Auggie is the original designer. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
we got
man.
to shout out to him. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is, and that's what we've been doing since we tapped in together on this channel, man. And that's what we're trying to promote to everybody is you lock in with the people that's ready to lock in for themselves too, man. And when you combine that, you move a lot faster. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I appreciate that, but nothing needed, man, because me and you run like Voltron, man. We like, you know what I'm saying? If the two best athletic cats got on two, you know what I mean?
Right.
Against anybody on anything. You know how we rock.
Always.
You know what I mean? So by you saying that only reason why that's there is because we here. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Agavellian, big up to the Agavellian who brought this whole thing together, man. And it's trying to just, open some doors that, hey, you may or may not want to walk through. You may not want to know the truth.
You know what I mean?
By facts. If you do your little not your little research, because a little research ain't gonna get you nowhere. But you just gotta do your research. Dig. And if you're digging to discredit, once you find the truth, then you gotta say, why don't more people don't know this? You know what I mean? Because hey, I got a new thing. What we need to do is start sharing and not comparing.
Is that the truth?
You got me? Like, every time when, people get together, right? And, everybody telling their war stories or whatever. Instead of, and I call them war stories because, shoot, we in this war of life where you got the battle for your soul, you got the battle for your mind, you got the battle for your children, you got the battle for your integrity. It's a battle out here. You know what I'm saying? And if you what your boy say, it's a war going on outside. No man is safe from.
Word.
You know what I mean?
You can run, but you can't hide forever. That's a
you can
fact.
run, but you can't hide.
You can run from your problems, but you always gonna have to deal with them at the end of the day.
You gotta deal with it.
No matter what.
Whether they small or big, if you got problems, you better get with it. Because if you ain't living comfortable, you always under stress and survival mode, you can't even grow.
You know what? And not even problems either, too. You know what I mean? Things that you just want to do in life and just things that happen for you. You know what I mean? Opportunities. They're gonna come. The opportunity's gonna come, and you're gonna have that choice. You're gonna have to make that choice.
It's a window.
Yeah. Are you gonna see it? Are you gonna make the task? And what you were just saying about people, who act that way towards other people, that's actually trying to do things, man. It's kind of like they most of the time they got an idea too. But the simple fact is they ain't willing to put the extra time in and put the investment in themselves to make sure it happens. They still waiting to run into somebody that's gonna, put it all together for them. So when they see somebody else doing it, they think somebody doing it for them. And it's like, nah, this is strictly from the fertile soil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mud is the most fertile soil. You know what I mean? So looking at iGod TV, trust me, we started this from the very first episode was on my phone. You know what I'm saying? That was the first camera, you know what I mean, with the regular, you know what I mean, Instagram model light, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And nowadays
you gotta understand the progression.
Right. So you gotta look at it and just see when you invest in yourself, man, and you progress and you just look at it as something that's gonna happen and not just something that might happen, and just having that strong team around you, man, that's willing to put their time in too, because both of us have separate lives besides this,
Hey, but I want to do one more shameless promotion real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's only for the team. It's for the team that we got right now. Hey, like Jizza said, twice powerful You know what I'm saying? Less long.
Yeah, you know what? Because the Auggie got the Auggie behind the scenes. The Augie's been making a lot of things happen and making a lot of connections. Like I said, he was the originator of the logo, but then he had his man that was able to put it to bring it to life. And you know, go ahead, give
Hey,
the shout outs, man. Go ahead and shout out to
no, hold up. And,
Auggie
I
Belly.
only got one. The man who extra Augie the Augie, and you know, and the guy who created the Augie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same. My man DJ J Drop Zone. You
Shout
know what
out
I'm
to Drop
saying?
Zone,
Check
man.
him
Shout out
out.
to Drop Zone. Follow
You
him
know what
on
I'm saying?
Instagram.
Shout out to the Drop Zone.
Right. And I see you
You
on
know what I
Instagram,
mean?
brother. I see you on Instagram, man. I see what you been doing on there too, man. And thanks for everything you've been doing for us. We're gonna keep it going, brother. Trust me, man. And,
Hey, we need more
keep in
cats
contact
behind
with the
us.
Auggie. Keep in contact with the Auggie, man.
But oh man, that's first of all, you know how Superman got Bizarro? Me and Drop go way back. You know what I'm saying? We came out the same wormhole on opposite sides, but it was the same side. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See, at that time, I came out the Bizarro.
Right.
He was
See,
Superman.
that's what I like. That's what I like
You know what I
about this
mean?
whole thing. That's what I like about everybody that's involved. Everybody got history, you know, and that history is all pertains to what we're doing now. And you know what I mean? That's what like working so well. You know what I mean? I feel like it's ready to go. You know what I mean? But anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? And we back on them again, man. You know, we finishing the
Once
year off
again, it's
strong.
on.
Yeah, we finishing the year off strong. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna let them know what time it is, man. So when this new year hit, man, we can come in.
Hold up.
We can all
But
come
you
in
know we getting
wide
into
awake.
we get into the wildest part of the year. Excuse me for cutting your wisdom guard. Excuse me. Just pardon me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is this. August is the hottest month, right? Then we going into that September. It's that 9, that's that born. And I ain't gonna lie. I got a special surprise for you in September. I know we already talked about the one thing.
Yeah.
But nah, I got something you ain't ready for in September.
Okay.
Some ill, yeah, we gonna drop some ill bombs like Auggie. You know what I mean? In the gigoid.
Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all stay sharing and subscribing, man, and letting people tap in with us, man.
And we thank
the
you.
word, because that's exactly what we need, man. You know what I mean? It's real. But anyway, man, we here once again, you know, to break it down to its purest forms, man, and put the truth out there for what it is. Just as far as human history, you know, we're not putting a stamp on a certain people. We're not trying to degrade any other people, man. We just going to the actual fact, you know, right and exact, nothing added, nothing taken away, understood through understanding. Man. That's exactly how we keep it. That's been my teaching. That's not my
Every
teaching, that's
time.
the teaching from the Father. That's the teaching from the Father, you know, of Prophet Philip, you know, and that's how we gonna keep it. You know, so anyway, the Sphinx mystery. All right. So not only was it a whole confusion about the pyramids and the tombs, you already seen how we broke that down. You know, now if we're looking at the Sphinx, here we go again with something that looks foreign to our eyes, but once again, humanoid. Okay. So once again, we're gonna already go ahead and just take away that whole thought of the
blow away the smoke, God. Blow the smoke out. Blow the smoke away.
Alien landing.
Blow the smoke away.
Leave that out of here. All right.
Yeah. Blow it away.
You're not putting a human being's face on a monument like that of that stuff.
Right. Come on, man.
No way.
Get out the fantasy cloud.
No way. All right. You know, so, and we already showed you in the pyramid theory how we knew mathematics and we knew astrology. So, you know, in the time of Leo, they say that's why it's the lion's body. But spring and summer solstice is when the sun rises, facing the sunrise. You get it? But that's just the basic knowledge you can get from anywhere, you know. But we're gonna get a little deeper into it, man. But first and foremost, I want to, you know, I mean, I want to tap in, Augie, on the fact of the people that, let's just say, the people in control now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They speak of this type of history as, you know, paganism, as cursed, and as, you know, just the wrong way to go, and that's the reason why people we in the position that we're in now. But
Okay.
my question is, if that's the case, if we are the worst people on the planet, what is the fascination for you of our history and our motherland? There wouldn't be a museum without us.
I mean, what they gonna put in it?
Man, that's my point.
I mean, if you
That's
want to
my
get the
point.
oldest things on the planet, if you want to get what they call it carbon dated, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, if you want to take it down to the molecule of when it happened, if you have these tools, as you say,
Right,
you know what I mean,
right.
and you see that it all started with the melanated ones, because it ain't like the sun went nowhere in no region. It might have been hotter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with that being said, uh, to answer your question, why? Because a false narrative of it, we've been bamboozled, led astray, as you know. The, you know
Shout out to Malcolm X.
the
Shout out to Malcolm X.
yeah, the
Definitely,
semi
definitely.
quote. Yeah, man.
But my point is, you know, it's like we said about the museums and the things like that. But it's like, even if we look at it, because we ain't gonna go too deep into that. But religiously, even if we look at it religiously, all right, everything bad that they claim God did to the planet was done to these people. All right,
Okay.
the plagues,
It was
floods,
just to these people, huh?
Pharaoh. I'm not saying that I'm saying this is what they say in their books, right?
No,
This
no,
is what
no,
they
no. I'm
teach
just
their
saying, I
people in the
understand what you're
church,
saying. But
right?
yeah, yeah. I'm
So
asking the same question.
my point is, what's your fascination of, you know, digging them up, putting them on, you know, putting them on display, even having anything to do with something that you would tell the people would be a cursed race of people. You know what I mean? You can't go anywhere and go see George Washington. Oh yeah, this George. You know what I mean? Preserved. He goes, you know, little jacket. I mean, not jacket, but the bones, and here's his coffin. You know what I mean? You're not going in there and seeing Abraham Lincoln. Like, they don't even have a hall of the kings. I mean, not the
Okay.
kings, but of the presidents. As far as where you could go somewhere and see their caskets and put flag. You know, you get what I'm saying? Back in our time, we in one of the temples right now. This is actually just a temple, you know what I'm saying? But this would be a part of someone's burial tomb. You know what I mean? It'd be telling their life story. But you could also go right up to it, see the sarcophagus, and which they one thing they knew they shouldn't have did, but they opened these things up, man, and these things are 3,000 years old with teeth, hair, tongue, fingernails, hair still braided, jewelry on, clothes, toenails. All right. Only thing is the skin is shriveled like a prune, but completely
Right.
dark. You know, and we're gonna show you in the on the lecture. Trust me, I have actual pictures of any of the pharaohs that you can that you can name. Seti one, Ramses one, Ramses two, uh, King Tut. We've all seen that one. You know what I mean? I got them. I got them. So when you see these and you
Mm.
see how actual and how real the faces are, you know, and then you see the mastery even of the undertaking, you know, the embalming. You know,
The mummification.
they had a god that they call evil, you know, named Anubis, you know, but he was all a part of mummifying, preserving the body, you know what I mean? The embalming, and, you know, and Think about that. 3,
Mm.
4, 5, 6,000 years later, you see this body, and you could tell it still would look alive if the skin wasn't, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, but you got,
Then
yeah,
you go to
yeah.
Greece,
Hey,
then you go to Greece, and then you see then you see their joint faces painted, or they got the faces painted on the coffin. You
I
get
mean,
me?
because it looks disgusting.
Didn't even have the master, is what I'm saying. I mean, if you look, they have never seen another duplicate of a King Tut burial mask. This is molded mask to look exactly like a man's face out of solid
Yeah,
gold. Solid
yeah,
gold. You know what I mean? Something you could never do, something they would never do. You know what I mean? Let alone preserve a body itself. You know what I mean? Teaching them how to
yeah.
preserve, you know what I mean, and making it last. And a lot of people want to say things about South America. Nothing against the South Americans, because my grandmother is a Native American. She didn't come over here from overseas. You know what I mean? But they might have some monuments and some things that look similar. You're not having no mummies. The mummification process, you weren't masters of the mummification process, man.
Oh,
Let's just
come
keep it.
on. Who
Let's just
started
keep
the
it 100.
mummification
There was a
process?
different level of science going on. You know what I'm saying? In this region of the land, you know what I'm saying? And that's from all my guys that want to try to say that it all happened over here first. You know what I mean? There's evidence of things that happened over in Africa that prove that no one else on the planet was doing this.
Facts.
And that's just a fact. You know what I mean? Which we're saying the Sphinx. You're never going to see one anywhere else on the planet. Okay? If this
Hey,
was
what they
built by
call it when?
people, if this was built by people who do it all over the world, you'd see
Hey,
them on
how
this
many
type of
wonders of
level.
the world is it? How many wonders of the world is it?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Right.
7.
Right.
There's no 8 wonders of the world. It's only 7.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and somebody uh did you
We
hear what
know where the
happened to
most ancient ones are.
one joints? Did you hear what happened to the one joints? Oh, I think we
Which
talked
one?
about this.
Which one?
The Georgia Stones.
Mm-mm.
The Georgia Guidestones.
What, Stone Mountain?
Huh?
Well, Stone Mountain, Georgia?
Yep.
No, what happened?
They done desecrated them joints and kicked them down, and they did something crazy to them.
That's
And that
crazy.
was some weeks ago. We hadn't spoken for a second.
And you know what? That's one thing that I did that I forgot to mention, and because I was in such of a zone. But the granite that they used on the Great Pyramids,
Mm-hmm.
you can only find that type of granite in Stone Mountain, Georgia. So
So,
tell me how granite from Stone Mountain, Georgia, that don't even exist at the time, it's just a land. How does that granite make it all the way to Kemet or Egypt? So
hey, and geographically, if you know the geographic coordinates of what we call Stone Mountain, Georgia, and then you calculate that with the coordinates to get over to the plateau of Giza, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Now, hey, as the Mac, as in the Mac, when my man say, "Can you count that?"
Mhm. See, and what they found out. We're gonna break down in the lecture is inside the earth. When you come to these minerals, there's a vein. There's like veins going through the earth. So what the African found out is that what scientists have found out now is that same vein of granite that's in Stone Mountain, Georgia, goes underground and can be dug up back over in Africa.
Wow.
So they have these veins like gold.
Hold on, hold on,
silver.
hold on, 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 hold up,
Yes,
hold up,
yes.
hold up. You just hit, hey, as back in the day, you just hit me with the Bob gun, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. We got to back, because it ain't like an Augie can't learn. Now see, Kids, this is a fun fact.
Right.
Now, what you just said was it's veins
Right.
dealing with these stones that become marble and all these exotic stones.
Right.
Wow. And you saying it's like a tree that goes from somewhere to somewhere and Africa is a conduit, or is it the origin?
Well, not necessarily an origin. It's just basically how the layers of the earth under the crust. You get what I'm saying? There's different layers of minerals as you go deeper down into the earth, but it's not surrounding the earth. You know what I mean? It's in patches
Understood.
it's in patches all over. That's why they got the oil over in the so-called Middle East, and then they found out it's in Venezuela. Then they found, you know what I
The
mean? They're tiny
veins.
veins. They find where they,
The
they can tap into
veins.
that. They can tap or
Yeah,
like an
that's
artery
hot.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they knew, and that's how they was able to get to obtain the same exact granite. You know what I mean? To be able to put up on the pyramids, but they just don't want to be. They don't want to give us the credit of the technology. You know what I mean? To know
I
our
mean,
planet the way we knew it. Like,
of
and
course
another
they
thing
don't.
before we, another thing, I don't want to stay on the. I don't want to stay on you. I don't want to stay on you Native Americans like that, like this, man. You know what I mean? But the emerald tablets, it comes from, you say Thoth, Hermes, or Thoth. We say Tahuti in Kemet, all right, which is the wisdom. You go to emerald tablets in emerald, right? You're supposed to be the Atlantean, so you say he comes from the Caribbean, South America, okay? One thing that I always say is that you never do the geographical, you never tap into the geographical evidence because you know that's where the truth lies. And at that time, the only emerald mine was a mountain in northern Egypt. So how are you writing an emerald tablet in South America when the only place they're even using emerald is in northern Egypt?
Yo, facts.
And the emerald tablets are written on that mountain. That's what they don't tell you. They tell you he brought a book from South America. No, it's written on the mountain. They translated it from a mountain that they were in an emerald mine. The emerald tablets come from an emerald mine inside of a mountain that Tahuti or Thoth, or you calling, or the Greek calling Hermes, wrote this in hieroglyphs on the emerald, on the walls of the emerald mine. So what is this Atlantean that you speak of? I don't understand it. I don't understand why it ain't even about trying to have supremacy. It's all about the facts and the truth of us trying to tap into exactly the origins of where we come from. And when we tap into the evidence of it, they just want to deny it when it's right there and it's true. And they want to scramble us up just like the elite scramble us up and make us pretend like, oh no, it was here, it was here, it was here, it was here, when the evidence is just right there, you know? And I just want to throw that in there real quick, man. You know what I mean? But I want to get back to the fascination, you know, because, you know, Egyptology started from, the Rothschilds and them, and his daughter was so fascinated with when they were going into these tombs and finding certain things. E. Wallace Bulge, the guy who wrote the first translated supposedly the Book of the Dead. You know, she was so fascinated by that book, she had her father give her fund her to go down here with some guys to dig and try to find their own trinkets. You know, they started finding little tablets, books, gold, and things like that, and that was the beginning of Egyptology. You know what I mean? So it's
Right. Well, hey, and it was the continuance of what they call it, treasure hunting. You know,
And they feel, and at the time, this is the time, you know, slavery and things were ending, but still going on, and there was nobody there to defend the original land. There was no
I mean,
army. There was no
right,
army after the defeat to defend the land. So what I'm saying is,
right.
there's nobody there defending the fact of who gave you these privileges to literally dig up the graves of ancestral people, of, you know, the people that you so called,
Yeah.
you know, and throw us in these museums, you know, and sell all our things off for millions and millions of dollars. Like,
Hey, but
all these
notice
things are
this
so
though.
precious. We're nobody on this planet, but everything we ever created is so precious.
Hey, but guess what though? Now you just gave an example of the first grave robbers and where that whole, you know, incredulous behavior comes from. Because I don't care what you're saying for history. Whose history? These cats ain't you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just a real touch on it. And you know, you got us in a museum for all to see, but then you throw your story on it as if you was a part of it.
As we're talking about the Sphinx, you know what I mean? And we look at it and we see the human head, the pharaoh head, you know, and we see the lion body, or the animal body, so to speak, you know. We look at it as the intellect over the animal instinct, you know what I mean, so to speak. You know what I mean? And it's like the spirit and the flesh, you know what I mean? Can the spirit rise above the flesh, you know what I mean, and become that so-called pharaoh, or that so-called divine mind, you know what I mean, to be in control of your life and your own destiny, you know what I mean?
That's right.
So when you look at it, how you see it, God, you know, when you see the intellect over the what would you say, the passion,
Well, yeah,
not
basically it's the
necessarily
intellect. Yeah,
temptation, not necessarily temptation, but
yeah, temptation. I mean, well, you can say that too, because right now, you know, trying to be cool, you know, I'm smoking a cancer stick. I'm trying to quit. And if y'all got any tips, please send me a, you know, cold turkey just ain't working, and I don't want no fluids going to the gig. I just need, you know what I'm saying? My man gave me a technique, but you know, you know, hey, these cigarettes is bad, man. Kids, don't start. Don't start. But
do you think
yeah,
it's like
it's
the intellect over passion and desire, for, you know what I mean, for necessarily
mm,
those things that ain't beneficial? Or what, how do you see the mystery of the Sphinx on that level?
I see the mystery as it's a combination, just like it has pyramids. You know what I'm saying? You got at least have an understanding. Once you had an understanding, which is the three, you know what I mean? You got the pyramid based on a three. You got the Sphinx based on what? Three things, right?
Mhm.
A man, a beast, and a bird. Correct?
Word.
So if you look at it from the head point, you have the person that you got to walk through this desert. We in the desert. Or it could have been fertile. You got to walk through the garden or the desert.
Right.
And guess what? As a beast of the field, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because you got to survive, you got to get yours, you know what I mean? But that don't mean you can't fly.
I like that.
And when you fly, that's the kundalini on the top of your gigoid,
Yeah.
which is the fact, you know, it ain't a snake, it's the kundalini letting the motherfucker know that they Piney was dancing like Terrio.
Right. I like that. I
You know
like
what I
that. You're
mean?
right. Because you're gonna always need your intellect, but your animal instincts and your survival instincts, let's say, because they make animal instincts sound negative. So let's just say survival instincts.
Right.
They're a part of you, that's the foundation of you. You know what I mean? And once you accept that, you can pretty much fly because you can, you know what I
You
mean? You
got
have
your
peace.
wings.
You have peace with both levels of you. You know what I mean? And you're
You
able to
got
move freely.
wings.
Freely. The wings is freedom, pretty much. The wings represent freedom.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So once you can master that is when you master your freedom. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, God, we over here giving them the mysteries of
Hey,
the,
but
you
then,
know what I
hey,
mean? I
but
mean,
keep it though. But now you just made me think of some shit, right? He's standing
add
on
on,
foot.
add on.
He's standing on four, right? So
Word,
we said he was the
word,
man, the beast, and and the bird, right?
right?
So that's knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? He's
Peace.
standing on the square, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what beast is he here? You know what I'm saying? Who
Right,
knows?
right.
But
Staring
at the
at the
same
spring,
time,
staring at the spring sun when the spring rises, which is fertility, because we all know
mm,
spring brings the fertility. So when the spring sun
mm.
rises, the first day of spring the Sphinx is looking directly at it. So that's the fertility right there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
the connection with the universe and the homage to, the solar messenger, because we all know light,
exactly.
we all know light is information. Light carries information.
Yeah. And with that
Mhm.
being said, woo. So he just gave you 4 degrees real quick and
Man.
just told you to stand on your. Hey, so
Hey,
now
I'm
hold
wearing the
up.
merch. I'm wearing the merch tonight. I'm wearing the merch tonight. So we going there. We gotta go there.
Hey, yo, God. Okay, so peep this out. So taking it back to our original topic, right?
Right?
We just said why. We just solved it as a person with your own mind, dealing with your own universe, right?
Word.
Which everybody got their own universe, and you got to stand like the Sphinx, looking at the sun. You know what I mean? To
Uh-huh.
shine light on you, to give you, you know what I'm saying, what you need, them nutrients, so you can activate the nutrients. You know what I'm saying? Potential. But with that
Exactly.
being said, so that's that. We got the one, we got the knowledge. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Boom. And, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coming from looking at the knowledge, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And through the right information, he getting the wisdom.
Right.
He built to understand this shit. You dig?
That.
If you stand in your square as an animal in the habitat, we ain't gonna say a beast in the field, an animal in the habitat,
Right. Your
you
environment.
gonna be
Your
all
environment.
right. I mean,
Right.
you got the Danny Terrio, baby. You know what I'm saying? You got your, hey man, you got your dance fever on your pineal. You know what I mean? That
Word.
joint going off like 90 break dances. You dig?
Yeah. Yeah. For real, man. So it's like that's part of that's part of the mastery that we can see they were even using back then. They were trying to teach the people the fact of, hey, look, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have to stay in control, you know what I mean, of your life and where you're going in your direction. Like we said on the last pod, well, y'all ain't seen it yet, but it's coming out soon. We just did something fire. We brought in a special guest. I think y'all gonna really like this one. But
Yeah.
you wake up every morning with a chance and a choice. You know what I mean? And what you go with that, God give you the opportunity to do whatever you want with it. That's free will. It's not to go kill
Yeah.
someone. It's not to do, all this wild shit. It's choice, chance. You know what I mean?
But
That's
guess
what you
what?
get.
That's,
You know what I
hey,
mean?
that's
And
your
it's like,
choice. Hey, well, hold up. And to those that's doing all the debauchery, and and not, I ain't gonna lie,
the bitch
they get to
assness,
crying
all
like
the bitch
Jeffrey.
assness.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna say this: for those that's doing debauchery,
Okay.
they get to crying like Jeffrey,
Uh,
like he wanted to be free with his family.
yeah.
You should have thought about choice and chance. You had the chance not to make that choice, but you made that choice, took that chance, and guess what?
To be King Slime and
Whammy. Whammy. You got the big bucks, but you whammy. It's a fucking whammy. Man, that's terrible.
Yeah, because the destruction of the people is no longer gonna be no longer gonna be accepted.
No,
it can't happen no more. It can't happen no more. You know what I mean?
Hey, I tell you like this.
You know what I mean? And not saying nothing about anybody or where anybody need to wake up and be a part of this movement and this type of a movement also, instead of having to go to the penitentiary. You know what I mean?
Hey, but if you drink the zombie juice, right? You deserve to be a zombie. I mean, you like it. You don't cry, don't cry about what's going on in your community if you're drinking the zombie juice.
Right. Yeah.
If you love to absorbing
any information, juice, you're not out here absorbing any information at all.
No.
Productive information. You know what I mean? Necessarily.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily worried about your surroundings. You know what I mean? But that ain't for everybody. That ain't for everybody, but that's why we here, iGod TV, Auggie and the Agavelli, man, and we come to give you that God degree, that good food every time we come through, right and exact. You know what I mean?
We gonna eat.
Nothing taken away, nothing added, understood through understanding. You know what I mean? That's peace.
No artificial
so I want to say, I want to segue into, so we've been talking about the human body over the animal, the spirit and the flesh, you know what I mean? And we've tapped into this a few times briefly, but for those who've seen, who remember, we talked about riding into this realm on the beast, how they said in the old Sumerian texts, in the Sanskrit, which is just as old as hieroglyphic, they talk about gods coming to this planet riding on dragons or beasts. You get what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So when you think about the Sphinx, body of the animal, the human head, the spirit, the flesh, and this ancient story of the gods coming here riding on these beasts, these dragons, you got to think the dragon is, you are the god or the person in control, so to speak, of your life, not everyone's life. You can't control anyone's life, so not that type of God.
You're
the God of yourself, right? But that beast, that dragon you come riding in on is your body, is your flesh, is your passion, is your desires, to which way is your chance and choice. How do you want to use this for? You know what I mean? For beneficial or just for narcissistic ways? You know what I mean? And it's like, even deeper, if you think about the dragon, so to speak, that ain't nothing but your chakras, your shoulder, your solar plexus, the energy sources that run your body. It's an electrical body. Your body's ran by a power source. You know what I mean? And why would they call it solar plexus if it had nothing to do with the sun? You have a compressed sun inside you.
That's right.
And that's why when you passed away, the Kemite, or as I say, Egyptian for the new subscribers, thank y'all once again. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all sharing it too, all right? But Kemet is Egypt, but they would put a scarab on your heart. Why? Because the scarab, what they said, would move the sun across the sky. So your solar plexus, that's why they say, that's why some people say your soul is in your heart. And that's because that's one reason why they put the scarab over it, representing the sun and that solar plexus, you know what I mean, that energy source. But not to get too deep with it though, but riding that beast, it's like you come here and it's like, do you want to be in the Tesla? Do you want to just type in the coordinates and then fall asleep and let it drive? Or are you going to take this beast to conquer you know, not other people, but conquer your goals and your plans, you know what I mean? And your real productive desires, you know what I mean? To really
To be
appreciate
the
and be
real
happy with
you.
this experience.
I mean, to be the real you. You
Thank you, man.
know,
Thank you, man.
you know, and hold up. I gotta say this, and we just talked about, you know, a lot of things. So I'm unapologetically on the side style, you know, for respectable purposes, you know, indulging my couple vices, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you all this, man. And you know, everybody, man, come on, man. Who controls your brain? I'm gonna say that once every episode now. From this episode on, that's gonna be the Big Augie's thing. You know, because excuses only serve those that make them. You know what I mean? And you know, choices, we said choices and chances, right? So you got the choice to make the chance the best choice for you.
Hey.
Or you can make it the worst choice for you.
Hey, what we used to say back in the neighborhood back in the day, make your next move your best move.
Your best move.
You know?
Your next move better be your best move, because guess what?
Go ahead.
You don't step upon the hey, what your man said, and when I step upon the mic, my man ODB, big up the ODB, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
When I step upon the mic, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you gotta step in the fight, you gotta still improve.
But you know what? Like we said, we think that the thought and the action is right here. When actually for some people it's miles away. You know, the thought of these actions for your life are here, and some people have the ability to manifest them and bring them to life in a timely fashion. Some people, the thoughts here, the action, man, you might need, you know, binoculars. It might be over the hill somewhere. They can't even see the action. You know what I mean? And that's where inside you start to feel away. You know, you can't even, if you can't see the goal, you can't have the goal and not see the goal, is my point.
Yeah, you gotta see the goal.
You know, but you also got to realize that either whatever distance that goal is, the only way you make that distance shorter is by attacking it immediately, by going straight in.
You know what? Hey, now
like, I'm doing this from now on. I'm doing this from now on. If I'm doing this from now on, I'm doing this from now on. I'm got to handle this from now. You gotta, you know, you have to do it. It's the things you do when you don't want to that benefit you, is what I found out. When you do it when you don't want to, you know what I mean? The beneficial things is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's those moments when you don't feel like it, you do it anyway. It's where it comes powerful. Like, people don't know yet, but we've been recording a lot lately this week, you know, along with our other things we've been having going on. And it's that type of drive that gets you to where, you know,
you're gonna be there.
You know.
Hey, as my man Ghostface, as well as Jadakiss and Styles P said, we go make it.
Word.
We made it.
Word. Now, you remember the movie Avatar? You remember the movie Avatar?
What's that shit?
Now, the secret to the Avatar, to those people, right, was when they was, now I'm segueing from what I was saying, riding the beast, right?
Oh, hey, oh yeah, go ahead, ahead. I got you.
So look, when you saw Avatar,
right? Of course.
So I'm talking to the technician in the house. You know what I mean? We had to track, you know, we're in the building, man. We're in the building, you know.
Hey.
You know, we're in the building, man. You know, but you see Avatar. Okay, so Avatar, avatar, you know what I'm saying? The connection, you had to connect with that beast, literally. You get what I'm saying? You
Right,
had that
yeah.
connection with your own, it was yours, right? And once you, that umbilical cord pretty much was plugged in, you know what I mean? Your thoughts was
Mm-hmm.
its thoughts, and the control, there was no control. It was just one flow, one fluid motion. Once you can find that space, family, okay, where you can harmonize the two, as above, so below, you know what I mean? When you can combine those and synthesize those to work for each other, the thought and the action, bring it together.
Hey, you got to
Make
take
the
the
space
journey.
closer. What's the song from my man? The space between, you know. Shout out to my guy, you know what I mean? I do listen to diverse music, but that space between, man, it can be a lifetime. That
And I
space
think about it
between
like
your
this.
thoughts and the action, not just anything or any action, like I'm gonna go make spaghetti tonight. I'm talking about the things that you know that God gave you inside, your true born talent.
You
You know
got
what
to
I
do that
mean?
shit.
Those is what you do. See, they always want the whole thing about that I don't like right now is this monetizing. Yes, we all would love it. Yes, we all want it to happen, but don't do it. Don't let monetization rule your content and your productivity. Okay,
Facts.
because you don't understand Russell Simmons and Gucci. Gucci, watch that Gucci movie. I advise everybody. It's amazing. You know what I mean about the Gucci family. But these things take years and years and years and years to get to those high levels like they are. It doesn't take years and years to make money, you know, 3 to 5 years maybe. But depending on if you know how to diversify merchandising and things like that, which we do, which we're about to start doing. But you know, you
Wu-Tang.
have to, you know, don't let the monetization of it stop your productivity and your creativity. You know what I'm saying? Because me
Mhm.
and the Augie gave me had, you know, I always call out, y'all don't know, but behind the scenes, I hit the Augie all the time. We have plenty of conversations. And
Come
you know,
on, man.
he even had to give me that advice. Like, you know, what you do is you continue. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And that's the message that we want to give people, man. And you know,
Hey, man, but I ain't gonna lie, man.
every
Before I
level,
lose,
on every level, man.
I want, I want to tell you that they actually are teaching this through the movie, and you had gave me a great, well, as we was talking about it,
Yeah.
you got to be like Bilbo Baggins. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Lord of the
You
Rings is
gotta,
my shit. The Hobbit, all that
hey,
is my
hold
shit.
on, hold on. See, you got to start with the Hobbit though, because that's the whole start of it, right?
Mhm.
Because
Right.
when the wizard came and blessed him with the knowledge, right, and took
Exactly.
him on the journey
Right.
to go what? He had to go slay the dragon and get the gold back to the dragon. He had to slay the dragon to get to the gold. And in that, he found an invisible ring. He found how to be invisible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they teaching this on all kind of esoteric levels. You know what I mean? If you can see what they saying, it's entertaining, but they give you the same information we is, but except they putting it in you know.
Yeah, because if you look at the Ring of Powers, they gave all these kings these rings, and if you look at it, same as these countries. You know what I mean?
And
Separated all these countries, and you know what I mean. But
what was looking over? Hold up, what was looking over the whole shit? The Eye of Sauron, right?
right.
So let's now they want to go back to Egypt or Kemet, if
Uh,
you will.
they try to
You know
make
what I mean?
evil
They
turn
look into the
something good.
eye now. They look into the eye. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? The eye seen everything. And if it swept to get, you know, oh, you knew where you was at. But that's, you know, that's your eye.
Right.
They put it as a menacing thing, but the whole thing was they wanted to destroy the eye because the evil people had it.
Exactly.
But it wasn't no way to control the eye because everybody got it.
That's right. That's right. You know,
You know
and
what I'm saying? I had to get that one off real quick, man, because I
yo,
was
and
I was
see,
thinking about
that's a
that
good
when you
clip.
thinking
That's
about
a
the
nice
whole
clip. I'm
thing.
gonna have to throw that in there. Y'all gonna be seeing that. Y'all gonna be seeing that. Make sure that you following Aquarian Mind at Aquarian Mind on our Instagram and following Augie's in the Gigoid
I
on
was in the gigoid.
on
And I
Instagram,
ain't gonna
man.
lie, man.
Make sure you're tapping
Instagram,
into Big
hey,
Auggie on
hey,
TikTok and iGod TV on TikTok. You know what I mean? Tap in with us. You know, we start posting more and interacting a lot more once everybody starts tapping in. We got people on there, and shout out to everybody that has been following and liking.
and
I
thank
appreciate
you.
that too, because it's a lot of views already, and I like that. But you know, make sure you're sharing it. Make sure you're telling the people to come on in when they got the time to come on, tap in, get this real, man. Let's get off this drama and this, you know, this this reality TV garbage that's going on right now, man. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So tap in with the gods, follow us, man. You know what I mean? Let's keep it moving. But lastly tonight, man, because I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I mean? But speaking of tapping in with the gods and speaking of gods and the beast, you know what I mean? I want to start. I want to make something clear. You know what I mean? To the new listeners and the people that's been listening for a while. You know what I mean? And just questions on just the the 5%ers and the I God theory. I mean the whole I God theme itself, man. And it's like the I God is mastery of the intellect. The third eye, mastering of your intellect. That's what the whole Sphinx is about. Mastering the intellect over the animal. The I God, meaning mastering your intellect so you can move how you should and not how you want to. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And that's what the whole I God TV is about. The Big Auggie is one of the grand masters. Of this from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And he right there with it, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But when we say God
Exactly.
to each other, when we talk about God, and you can see people, I've talked to people in other denominations, so to speak, and they want to say using the word God for yourself and things like that is blasphemous and it's things you shouldn't do. But how we do it is God, Allah, meaning arm, leg, arm, leg, arm, head, which is the human body. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just representing supreme attributes, right? Just to name a few before I let the Augie tap in because he really, he gonna give it to you. But I'm gonna let you know the supreme attributes of God are what? Creating life, first of all. All right. That's a supreme attribute of the creator of the universe. Gave birth to all this and gave us the ability to give birth
To
to
do
life and
to
creativity and this planet itself. So there's one, supreme attribute would be creativity, intellect, consciousness, and subconsciousness, and the ability to adapt, and transform things into our image and liking. These are all things that in your books and your Bibles you claim are the powers of God. So to us they are the gifts. You know what I mean? So on this level, like we said, you came down on this beast and to take control and take the reins and take it in the direction you choose to take it in, plug in like the avatar, you know what I mean, and take it where it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? Instead of just thinking that it's gonna take you and just going on the wild ride and crashing out every time you do. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let the Augie man tap in real quick before we sign off, man. You know what I mean? If we get back with y'all on iGod TV, you already know.
I ain't gonna lie, just coming to the next chamber what he said, you know what I mean? Adding on, of course. Hey, all I can say is this. Whatever you're going through, for whatever reason you're going through it, it's your choice. You taking your chances, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Hey, all I can say is this: to those who think it's over, you know, you never quit. You be the gamer's pit in the yard. The gamer's pit in the yard is dead game. That means I'm gonna go out in hole. I'm gonna go out fighting. You know what I mean? Curves, they run. Quitters never won nothing. You know what I'm saying? And a winner ain't never quit to the last bell. And this is you only get, hey, you live every day, but you only die once. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to provocate your early demise, do some goofy. That's your choice. But if you want to live a fruitful life and be old like you see, you know, for the young people like you see in the old timey stuff where people is old and all their family is around them and they done created babies and grandbabies and, you know, they just got, the big mamas and, you know, and things like that. I mean, you know, do fruitful and productive things. You know, one day you're going to come up off the goofy. You know what I mean? We all do.
Yeah.
Everybody done did, you know, everybody done made mistakes just to get the experience to do the right thing.
Exactly.
So, you know.
But a lot of these people out here, and these, especially the younger generations, they ain't really got the older people around to give them this type of advice and the type of game. A lot of them are in prison, dead, from these streets, and things happen to where they uncles and they fathers just ain't around to give them this type of thing. So that's why we try to tap in on iGod TV, man, and
every time
give y'all this type of game here and there, you know what I mean? Along with lectures of history to know thyself. That's the very first thing you saw in every temple. Every temple in Egypt, the very first thing you saw was know thyself. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first thing we always gonna do. You know what I mean? And on top of that, we're gonna give everybody a little bit of advice just from our own experience because we don't know everything, but on how to move through this and how to put that and how to connect to that after that beast. You know what I mean? To be able to maneuver through here, man. Take you or your family or where you want to take it. You know what I mean? Take the reins, invest in yourself, man, and take it where it's supposed to go. I want to thank the audience.
And God. Can I say one thing real quick? Not to cut your wisdom, but I got to put an iGuard TV disclaimer on this one.
Yeah.
You know why? Because this is not for the faint of heart. This is for the person who loves themselves and who cares about their own reality and do not want to be a slave to someone else's reality as a pawn. If you want to grab hold of your own thing, you know what I mean, and you want to just, have the confidence to be like, hey, it could have been the best move you ever made. You know what I mean? Scared business don't do nothing for nobody. You know what I mean? Taking your problems out on somebody else ain't gonna do neither of y'all no benefit.
Right. And we not saying we perfect. We not saying we perfect.
Exactly that.
You got
It's a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. Everybody got their own individual thing. You got teachers. If you don't listen to your teachers, you're gonna be dumb. I mean, that's simple facts. If you don't listen to nobody that ever told you nothing, and you go by what you think and what you thought, 99% of the time you're probably gonna be dead wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But you got zero experience. You're not gonna walk on a job site and get out there and start using drills and saws and hammers.
And you don't know how to use them.
Done it before.
Hey, and you're gonna probably be scared. You know what I'm saying? You trying to just get some money. And then, and then when somebody try to teach you, now you're trying to teach them how to teach you.
Right. And for a lot of my brothers that's been tapping in with us too, I want to also say this too, man. It's never too late for any of us, you know what I mean, to go into the right direction, man, and start to add on and build for ourselves and our families and people around us that we care about. But more importantly, man, don't let your children fall into the traps, or look up to you for the things that inside are mistakes.
That's right.
Made,
Hey, you want thought from where you want to be.
Look good. just because it might look good, you know. Send them to school, get them into the things that they believe in, you know, and point them into that direction to where other lives, you know, where they can create other lives, man. Because you know, the chains and the cycles, man, it's got to, you know, they got to be broken now, man. You know, we've been spinning in circles for too long, and now it's time to evolve, you know, to our children, you know, and not just continue to be, you know, the entertainer of the world, man, and go back to being the mind, you know,
But
as
you
it
know,
was
that's
from the beginning.
but they got us where they want us, man. They got
For
us where they
now,
want us, you
for
know,
now.
buffoons. I mean, but you know, luckily, some of our greatest comedians put social commentary in there to wake people up. And you know, they jokes, but they ain't funny.
Yeah.
Just like this life.
We
You know
gotta
what I'm saying?
we gotta change our community leaders.
Yeah.
Yo,
From the
no
entertainers.
disrespect to any of them. No disrespect to any of those guys that's making any type of change, man. But at the very same time, if you're doing anything against your own kind, you cannot be a community leader. I'm sorry. You can
That's
say
right.
what you want. You can say what you want, but if
You
the
ain't walking it.
if you know Malcolm X, may Allah be pleased, was alive, you would not be around. You know, this is what I didn't like about this whole Godfather of Harlem, you know, because they tried to make it like Bumpy Johnson, like Malcolm X was cool with what Bumpy Johnson was out here doing, trying to bring all the drug dealers from America all together and do, man, please. Man, please. He's not gonna let you poison the people of come on, man. They made it like they was best friends. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I mean,
no.
that's
If you dudes think that the little, oh yeah, I just keep my people together and in line and prosperous. You know what I mean? Is doing something it's not, man. You know what I mean? And especially if it's at the expense of the rest of your neighborhood, trust me, the real people that we call leaders would not be accepted, man. You'd be out of here, really, because honestly, back then in Malcolm's days, they did not play with you.
They
You
just
was
coming
out
to
of
get
here.
you.
You
They
was
just
out
coming
of
to get
here.
you. They just coming to get you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So I'm just saying, man, let's come right and exact. You know what I mean? And let's start
Or
really
nothing else.
what it's really about. You know what I
Or
mean?
nothing else.
And if you can't do that, you know, tap in with me and the Augie. You know, we always down to collaborate and discuss and add on with people, man, and we'll, you know, do things and we'll take it from there. You know what I mean? So,
Let's build.
you know, that's
All
the point
about
where we
building.
at. But I want y'all to be ready and tap in, you know, to that to the mystery of the Sphinx. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Don't give you the visuals, of course. You know, I'm coming with the PowerPoint.
Hey,
You know,
well, hold
the
up, man.
evidence.
First of all,
Always receipts. Always
hey, yo,
receipts.
God,
We talk
I was
and
gonna
then we
say,
come with the receipts, you know?
I was gonna say, but they should already know. You know what I'm saying? From our last little frolic through the factual you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, blowing the smoke away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unlocking the doors and walking through the wormholes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That cats was saying was mysteries, but they wasn't. But they was because they wasn't telling you what it really meant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In layman's terms,
They was
and
still
trying
keeping
to
y'all
get you
close
there.
minded. They was keeping y'all
And,
close
you
minded,
know,
man. You know?
sounds a little 10% to me, but you know, that's just my
No,
you
that's an
know.
actual fact. That's an
I
actual
already know.
fact. You
I
know,
mean,
it's the
I
type
said that for a
of
minute,
out
but you
here
know,
that know the
that was my
truth and
sentiment.
ever give it. They use it for their own benefit.
I mean, you know, so who's the bloodsuckers of the poor? Who's just as bad as the drug dealers?
Political parties, so to speak. But you know, I
You
didn't say that. I didn't say that. You know,
I didn't say, hey man,
allegedly. You know
we
what
didn't
I
say
mean?
any of that.
We ain't here to offend nobody on here. You know, that's
Hey
you know
man,
what we're doing. But we just
matter
giving
of fact,
you
edit
the
that.
fact of
Hey, you might have to edit that so we don't nobody gets their feelings hurt.
no, I'm not, man. We, you
Of
know what?
course,
Because it's
of
really
course you're
about
not.
that's what this whole Sphinx mystery is about. Elevate the mind over the body. Get
That's
over
right.
this. Get over this. Quit letting. They always go master this. They always got something for this. Some new Jordans, some new Jordans, some new shoes, a nice shirt, a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? A piercing. They always got something to tame the beast. You know what I mean? Don't let them get in here. Don't let them get in here, and don't let them make this more powerful than this. Ever.
Ever. Let me ask you this, man.
Ever.
They got anything for them devils?
Go this way. Don't let them go from the body to the mind. That's where we get it reversed. Emotion goes to the mind, and then you think. No, you got to think, and then change and control the emotion, man. And then you get in motion. See, emotion. It's, you know what I mean? It's the movement, man. It's a current. It's a frequency. You know what I mean? But we said that before because it's all about glands. You know, the glands in your mind. You have to understand everything's a chemical. Anxiety is a chemical. You know what I'm saying? Depression is a chemical. Sadness is a chemical. Happiness is a chemical. Serotonin. All right. These are all chemicals that are in there, and they only come out for certain reasons. They call them, now you go to a therapist, they say triggers. You get what I'm saying? But we knew all this in ancient times, these glands and the way they operate. And if you notice, they're a part of you and they are you. There is a way to control these things and master them. You know what I mean? And use them for your, use them for your benefit. You know, I mean, we're not gonna take it that far tonight, man. You know, we giving y'all this the pre-show, but this is the Sphinx mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mastery of self. Mastery of self. You know, and it's like we said, supreme attributes, not being God the creator, but having supreme attributes. You know what I mean? And recognizing those.
What are you the God of? Like, you know, I know cats who can naturally just play the drums, who naturally sing, who now, you know, what are you the God of? The God of in your universe, to you. You know what I mean? Now, if you scared to bring it out to the forefront, that's on you. That's them choices and chances. If that's, you know, but if you know, but I bet you in the shower you do everybody got their own thing they know they good at, but cats think that somebody else is better. And so instead of sharing, they comparing, you know what I mean? And you know,
I'll be worried about everybody else's universe, you know, and just like you said, do you control your solar system? I mean, what's one of the main degrees? What's one of the main degrees? You know what I mean? It's, you know, the father and the sun. You know, the father is just like the sun, you know what I mean? The center of it, for the center of the universe is the father is the center of his family. Just like the sun is the center of the universe. The father is the center of his family. You know what I mean? That's one of the first degrees that we learned in this, you know, science we study. You know what I mean? And what are you doing? Do you got what we talked about this on the phone? I mean, are your planets in chaos?
Or are they in orbit? Or they,
you know,
is everything in harmony?
A lot of times, there ain't even a sun in the system. It's a lunar system. How many universes on the planet lunar systems? Yeah, we're gonna get Look, I'm gonna give y'all one. That's coming soon. Coming soon. Yo, how many real solar systems are there actually? Think about it. Think about it. You know, and for one, they want to, and for one thing, they want to keep the sun out of the system in the family and every movie you see, Book of Eli, Matrix, the sun done burnt out. And the sun don't even exist. The father don't even exist. It's the mentality they put on us and through in our minds every day through what we said, what you say, Auggie, telling lies to your vision, television, through programs and channels. Now the sun don't exist. It's gonna burn out. We don't need that energy in your system. And if you try to have a sun around, if you try to have a sun in the center of your system, we're gonna shut down your whole system. Try it. Try it.
Because they got a system.
Yeah.
They got a system they selling.
Man.
and you bought into it,
man.
thinking their system was better than your system, and you got the ultimate system.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. I told him we was gonna get out of here, man. I said the jewels. That's where the jewels come out. We already
Hey,
know how
right,
that is, God. But you know,
man.
and I'm just saying that as I'm saying that as us because you know what I mean. We're blessed enough to be able to, you know, reincarnate a few
Hey,
times on this planet. You know what I
oh,
mean?
no, come on, man. Hey, I tell you like this. I told my home. Shit, man. Hold up. You gotta edit that part. I told my peoples. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. 1,007 years. I pledged my gamies. So we gonna meet at least 2, 3 lifetimes. If it's some real shit.
Man, think about that, man. You know?
You know what I mean?
Think about that.
So, and I meant that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you meet people, you know what I mean, that just like yourself. I met you when we was both much younger.
Yeah.
Always stayed, you know what I'm saying, where we supposed to be. Hey, you know, you could countless times. I done been over 2, 3 of your cribs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Both of our resumes solid. That's that's why we can talk this talk on here though. That's why we can come on here and give them to them how it is. You know.
Hey, all I can say is do your math.
Yeah.
In the world of Google niggas. You know.
Nah, because don't Google me because I'm smiling a lot more these days. You know what I mean? I get a couple mug shots, you know what I mean? You know, you're gonna see. But it's build and destroy, you know what I mean? But I'm done destroying, I'm building, you know. I'm build universal, you know what I mean? I'm build unity, you know what I mean? I'm all that now. You know what I mean? Not just born build, you know what I'm saying? Build everlasting.
But you knew you was born to build universally. You know what I'm saying? For the Alchemist University. Yeah.
Bird.
You hear that one?
To the God King Son too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
one of the forefathers of this whole everything too. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Forever.
Before we get out of here, man, I just want to say, you know what I mean? Thanks to the Auggie, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Man, thanks to you, Auggie Valley.
This is one and the same always, man. And see the logo, you see it? Tap in with us if you want to get one. We make not just the exact design. You get just the solid. Don't have to have the stripes in it. Different colors. We're gonna have the hats coming soon. We're gonna be doing a lot of things, man, to tap in with y'all, man, and really interact. You know what I mean? To represent this.
Rock with the Auggie.
Start letting the people, know what time it is, man. Because none of these presidents is making any of this happen. President is something that represents all of us. That's what a president means. What's the president? Meaning what's the
representation? The precedent.
That ain't us.
Precedent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That ain't our representation, man. And we're gonna start repping what it's really about, So y'all keep sharing, keep subscribing, man. Keep tapping in with us because you know what I mean. I've been seeing a lot of stuff happening going on. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, remember, Augie's in the Gigoid on Instagram.
Augie's in the Gigoid. Instagram.
Man, make sure you follow.
Hey, hold up. I gotta say this. Every 2, 3 episodes, I gotta say, if you're an Instagram head and you ain't on the Aquarian Mind, and you say that you or some or some studied culture, man. Hey, what the kids say? You capping like a cap gun.
Tap in.
You playing Cowboys and Indians again.
Aquarian Mind and iGod TV on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Make sure clips and
serious.
Different,
I ain't gonna lie.
All kind of knowledge on both pages.
I think we're gonna go to the. I think we're gonna start being the king of clips, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We're gonna start hitting y'all with a lot more brain teasers. You know what I mean? Just things to think about
man.
As we tap into more ideas. And if y'all got any other ideas of things you want to explain, books, because we do nothing but read books and things like that too. Things you want to explain out of certain books or even hieroglyphs, and other stuff like that, man. And we're gonna be going live a lot more on Facebook. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say thanks to the love of all of our Facebook people, man. Y'all been tapping in strong, you know what I mean? Just
without them,
YouTube,
without them, the push wouldn't have pushed over to that YouTube.
And that's a fact, man, for real. I know we don't give even much warning when we go live, but as soon as we go live, people tap directly in, man. Whatever the subject may be.
Tap. Gregory Hines tap in.
Word. And I really appreciate that, man. And you know, once again, it's the Big Auggie. You know what I mean? And you already know it's Born Build Universal, transmitter supreme Earth and the universe, aka the Agavelli, iGod TV, live from planet Earth. Peace.
No doubt. Look.